Camus.
I led the last one because I was under the guise that we were going to talk about comments.
Now we are this time, so you're leading again.
It's fine. It's easy to lead. You literally only open and close.
That is true.
That's what she said. No? That's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Open and close.
Yeah.
Does she, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much. Welcome back to Fives of Crab. After that brief moment of silence. If you listened to our last podcast, you know that you are now here to actually listen to us answer some comments.
This time we're serious.
This time we're doing it.
See, that's last time it was a guys, so that our retention was through the roof. They're like, hey, they got to get to these questions sometime.
Yep, exactly.
They got to answer my questions sometime.
That's the thing. Whatever is in our title will always be in the podcast at some point. We never promised you it'd be at the beginning, so that's on you if you get angry.
It's true.
Oh, and they do get angry.
They do get
and they
angry.
It's like you read Lord of the Rings and then you're pissed off that nobody talks about the rings until like 47 chapters in. You're like, oh, they're the Lord of the Rings.
Chapter 4.
Stop it.
You would ruin his point. You would.
I do that.
If you want to be real, it's on like the first page. Anywho.
He's like, you're wrong.
It's in the prologue.
Moving on.
You were wrong.
But you get my meaning. You understand what I'm putting down. Now let's answer some questions.
Picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question I want to start off with.
Get it.
This is actually... It's going to be a little thinker, you know.
A little stir-upper?
Yeah, it might be, actually.
Oh, dang.
Is a hot dog a sandwich or a...
No.
Don't
We
start
already
with
did
that.
Remember you love us, and let's go.
I was going to
So-
say, if you ask the question, be prepared for the answer.
Right? No,
Right,
this one,
right, Chris?
Yeah.
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 this one's more going to... Actually, this might
Just
not...
ask it.
Okay. All right. Now that I'm thinking about it might not be as good as I thought it was going to be.
That's
but
what she said.
So Sandy Reagan asked this question. This is a few months ago during our Who Would Be Most Likely To podcast that we did.
Okay.
If you could pick one of the other guys to be stranded on an island with, who would it be? A deserted island.
A deserted island?
Chris.
I'd be taking care of all these
Right,
suckers.
that's what it I was thinking
all
I would
just
stir
say
the
Chris.
pot, and then I looked at Chris and went, we're all going to pick Chris.
Yep. We all want to survive.
I want to survive.
Hey, I'm handy. Damn it. But that being
There's-
said, I also wouldn't want to be stranded on an island, so you can pick Chris.
You're IKEA handy.
I was going to say, you're awesome. There's zero
Hey,
tension.
bro. I did a lot of the work in this basement. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Exactly, you're IKEA handy. What? That's what he said.
No, man, I did the electrical. I did the flooring.
Okay, and how much of that is going to be on a deserted island?
Enough.
There will be plenty after I get there.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Who'd give me the most food storage?
Don't you dare turn left.
Wait, are you talking like...
If he has to eat someone, it's going to be me.
I found out I'm
Well
a pretty...
marbled.
I learned that I'm actually a
Like a
surprisingly...
ragu beef. Sorry, go ahead.
Just wait.
I love that no one's picking me. I love it.
I know.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Thanks. I'm crafty, okay?
What the question should have been is, how can you sell yourself to get the others to pick you?
Right.
No, man, I don't. You know what? I'll stay here. You don't need to strand me on an island. I'll just stay here. You guys can suffer.
Finish your comment, by the way. You learned what?
I learned that I'm surprisingly a pretty good shot with a bow and arrow. So
Could you make a bow and arrow? I'd make you the
mean,
bow and
There
arrow.
you go. Chris
Yeah.
would make you the bow and arrow.
but you're also a good shot with one.
Here's the deal. It depends on the circumstances. Let's say a plane crashed and we're on this island. Who would I want to survive? It would be Austin. He could put a radio together.
Yeah. Get that, dickheads!
Bunch of dicks.
But if the plane crashes in the sea and now you life raft to the island,
Ooh, and we don't have anything.
Yeah, like on Castaway.
Castaway.
Here you go. That's the perfect scenario type thing.
With
I love how we're
Castaway.
all like scenario trying to benefit ourselves now.
Right?
All right, but let's say you had one radio.
I'm trying not to make you feel left out,
I
Dick.
know.
I know. Thanks, man.
He left himself out when he said, "I'm not even getting on the plane."
Yeah.
If this thing crashes, I know
Well,
who
then
you guys
I
are
need
picking.
that craftiness. I'd say
I really don't know what I could bring to the table, honestly.
you could do things.
I couldn't bring anything to the table.
You know what? We
You
wouldn't
guys-
pick just one other. We would all go in together. Can't divide us. For your commenters.
Yeah, except for from now on, if we ever fly anywhere, I'm flying separate.
Here's the thing: is all of you guys have a very high IQ and could figure things out. So I would be okay with any of you.
Straight. I'm crafty. I can be feral.
That's a safe answer, Chris.
I
Give
don't
us
know
the
what
gritty.
else to say.
Give us the grid.
Give us the real answer. None of you. That's the real answer. None
He's
of
like,
you.
I'll go by myself. I like quiet. Austin, you're out.
You'd probably be the least quiet out of everybody.
I know. That's what
Have
I
you
said.
met Cameron?
That's what he said. That's why I said I like quiet. Austin, you're
No,
out.
Cam, you did just make the comment about being quiet with your dad, though. So I bet Cam would be
I'd get along with
surprised.
anybody. But
Who would be the best at making the
Let's just say
food?
I have the most energy stores, and so I would last longer, energized, hunting.
Why do we want to be
Trapping.
stranded on an island?
I don't know.
it's food storage,
you
man.
go.
I'm gonna keep you nice and fed.
Chris, why do you keep giving me your rations?
Like Austin was saying though, the food.
No,
I can cook. I can cook really well.
I'm actually a pretty good cook when I want to.
I don't know, man.
Are you guys trying to? Should we get applications?
It doesn't even it doesn't matter who. The rest of us are just trying to apply for your show.
I know, right?
Pick me,
None of us would pick each other. It's all like, Chris, pick us.
Chris, you catch it, I'll cook it. That's all I'm saying.
It'd be a good dynamic. There'd be a different dynamic with every one of you guys for sure.
I secretly
Honestly,
know how to fly a plane.
You know what? Just pick Zach. We know what it'll do for $100. So
I got you a coconut. Start a bartering system.
oh my god,
All right. Next question.
What will Zach do for a coconut?
what would you do?
For a coconut. I had to finish it.
You did. Good job. I like it.
It's kind of like the
Not doing it.
someone's got to.
It has to.
The world
That's
will
weird.
explode if someone doesn't.
Oh, good thing you did, Zach.
Natural disaster will be set off.
Isn't there a movie like that where? What is it? Oh, it's Cabin in the Woods.
That's what I was gonna say, but what are you referencing to in Cabin in the Woods?
That
That they
the
have to have the human
Titans that are
sacrifice.
yeah.
They have to have the human sacrifices.
That it's like
and
they have
stuff.
to have the human sacrifices, and then it doesn't matter if the virgin at the end lives or dies. She just has to be last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that question. I'm gonna be like texting you guys in the middle of the night.
He's gonna secretly text one of us, be like, "I choose you."
I'm gonna secretly text all of you.
He's gonna send it on Valentine's Day, so we don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, we'll remember. It'll be like a light switch, though. We won't remember until we get that text, and then it'll be like, "Ding."
Well, I start who do the best under pressure. All you guys are pretty good under pressure.
Hey, man. All I know is I have the survival manual downloaded to my phone. All right, look at this. Bam, right there. Kablam! I can survive.
What are you gonna do when your phone dies?
I'll figure it out.
Also,
Build a
he's
solar
like,
panel.
no. He's like, it's over, everyone. This is the end.
The battery on his phone is literally his life.
no.
Like he's watching it die, and
He
then
just, he just drops dead.
Tony and I make
be
some
a
cool
funny
games.
show.
We do cool games.
I'd be pure entertainment.
Survivalists, let's have fun till we die.
All right, not Tony.
Dysentery.
Anyway,
All right, next question.
I gotta stop thinking about it.
Oh, my cheeks hurt from smiling.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find some good, like just good questions.
Cheeks hurt. My neck hurts. This is the most I've used any of my muscles in the past 3 days.
Did you guys have any childhood nicknames growing up? If so, what were they?
Mine was Opie.
Opie.
Opie Taylor.
Dad was a fan of the Andy Griffith
Yep,
Show.
from the Ann Griffith Show.
Do I have to say?
That's what I was
He
called.
was a redhead, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's Ron Howard.
I always
Yep.
forget.
It was Ron Howard, yep. Opie Taylor?
Dude, I remember it blew my mind that Lucy was a redhead. Lucille
Lucille
Ball.
Ball.
Me too.
It's
It's supposed to be
blew my
great.
freaking mind. I was like, yeah.
The thing that I hated was that when I realized it, I was looked at like I was an idiot. I'm like, it's freaking black and white. How was I
So
supposed
you
to
were all
know?
watching the same black and white stuff I was?
Are you talking about I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
You didn't know she was a redhead?
Shut
For
up.
the longest time, no, because the majority of I didn't watch it. My mom would watch it, but the majority of the reruns I saw were all in black and white.
There's a lot of dialogue
I
about
never
it,
saw
though.
a single episode in color. I didn't see it in color until I saw
Maybe it
pictures of her
wasn't in
later
color.
on internet.
There's
when-
a few in a color.
Were there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
towards the end of
Yeah,
it.
towards
turns
the
into
later.
color.
So most of them were black and white.
all the
And I
ones
don't
I
think
ever saw.
it wasn't the I Love Lucy show. It was...
I Dream of Jeannie.
No, it was...
She was hot.
She did. I believe she did another show after I Love Lucy. Like it wasn't. It was like the Lucille Ball show or something. I can't remember.
I mean, I think
Anyways.
I think I saw a picture of Lucille Ball before I ever saw an I Love Lucy episode. So that's why I knew she was a
That's
redhead.
I'm pretty much
See,
the same
I
as
watched it all the time. I'd stay up with
hated
my
black
mom and
white
watch.
shows. It drove me nuts.
Oh, I loved them.
you. It was Nick at Night.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was just mad. I was like, we
How's-
have color technology. Why are we watching this crap?
Nick at
I
Night.
think the thing that broke my heart is I grew up watching Nick at Night, all these black and white
Right,
old
I Love
shows,
Jeannie
and then all of a
and-
sudden one day Friends was on Nick at Night, and
Yep.
I'm like, what? I'm like, I grew up with Friends. Like,
Oh, sorry to interject. Did you see that picture I sent you of the Addams Family? So there was a behind the scenes shot of the set of the Addams Family, the original black and white, and the house that they film in is all colorful. It's like pinks and greens.
oh
and
yeah, I have seen.
blues.
Yeah,
It's
That's
crazy.
so weird. Like,
Because I mean, it's all done
clearly
in-
they couldn't catch the color. Do you think it's because it made some kind of the contrasting grays?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
different gray hues in a way? So
I mean,
it was-
also it probably was far
So-
nicer to film in.
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. What was the question?
Nicknames.
Nicknames.
What was your nicknames
Nicknames.
growing
What
up?
was your nickname growing up?
Bobo. My mom.
Clown?
Yeah.
Gross.
My mom. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't know Bobo was a clown. I always heard as a blowjob as a Bobo.
Oh my gosh.
I always thought it was
I'm being
boobies.
honest.
Take the innocence
Bobos.
right out of it.
My bobos.
My mom would always call me Bobo the Clown, and then it turned into just Bobo da, and then just Bobo. And she honestly still calls me Bobo.
And then Bo.
and then my sister has, ever since I can remember, has always just called me Bud. And I'm still Bud. She even did it in
Bud.
texts. She texted me tonight. She's like, "Hey,
forgot
Bud."
your name. Mine was Christopher Columbus because they said I was always wandering off, searching for an adventure or something.
Nice. You
Sounds about
discovered
right.
a whole
That
continent.
fits.
This is why we'd want to be stuck on an island with Chris.
Because I'd wander off.
Because he knows how to.
Does he take us to another one?
Yep.
We'd inhibit it and then kill everyone.
He would find the
claim it as
natives,
our own.
name them something completely different.
Here we are in Botswana.
I listened to something on that. Did you know it was mostly diseases that killed them all off? Like they were cruel to them, but diseases like
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize how
smallpox
many of
and all that
millions and
jazz.
millions and millions of inhabitants there were in the Americas, and disease got like 80% or something like that, 70 to 80%.
Oh yeah. The West virus, man.
Well, they tried enslaving them, and they just kept dying of disease.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think of Ace Ventura, where they're like, they did not know disease until the white man came and he sneezes. Achoo!
My dad always called me Osterizer. My sister always called me Ostonio. My pastor always called me A. That's it. That's all I can think of.
I did get Tony Baloney a lot.
I was always Cameroni.
Cameroni.
Camerone.
I used to call you that.
Got Cambo. Wham Bam Cam.
Wham Bam
Cam
Cam.
Bam.
Cam Drizzle.
Cam Drizzle. There's a good amount.
My grandpa called me Sneaky Pete because he says I secretly poked holes in his shutters with a stick.
Sneaky Pete.
I got Soup a few times.
I get Campbell's.
Campbell's. My other one, it's actually stuck with me to this day. My nieces and nephews, actually, I'll call me is Buddha.
Buddha. That's
Yep.
your gamer tag.
It is that we made a long time ago. at
Yeah.
Austin's, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Buddha.
Big Buddha.
So actually started with you ever seen the movie 3 to Tango with Matthew Broderick and Nev Campbell and anyways a couple other but there's a thing in there. My brother had watched it and they were like, yeah, we had a friend growing up. We used to call him Buddha, and his name was Bob, and so we'd call him Buddha Bob. So from that point on, like my brother came up to me and was, "What's up, Buddha Bob?" And ever since
Nice.
then, that's just what I get called, Buddha Bob, Buddha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
Oh, I did get Tony a lot.
I mean, that's your.
I was gonna say Chris, but
It's
I mean,
the
I
nickname
get
of
Cam.
Anthony. I had to be stupid.
don't be hard on yourself, Bobo.
Hey, Bobo, you gonna give me a Bobo later?
Please don't.
$100. Hey, Bobo.
Hey, yo, boo boo.
Oh my goodness. So many. It's hard because some of these questions are just about that specific podcast. Like they're not just like general questions.
Oh, really?
Bring it up. Maybe it'll spark some memories and we'll talk about it.
here we go. What's a job that you find sexy and why?
A job I find sexy.
Dent repair.
Why? Because he sees himself in the reflections all day.
Oh,
Working out those dents.
That was asked by Mama Marshmallow.
Nice.
Mama Marshmallow, what's a job that you find sexy and why?
I'll be honest, man. Every time that Olympian skateboarder chick comes on my feed, woo! I don't even know her name, but it's amazing to me that she can skateboard as good as well as she does. That has always been attractive to me, is watching a girl skateboard, especially professional. Come on, that is like
I've never. Women don't belong in the workplace.
Canceled.
I had to. I'm kidding.
You shouldn't have to say you're kidding.
Wow.
what is this, the 1920s?
Oh my gosh. You're ready for that clip to be taken out of context?
Have you heard Bill Burr's rant about being a mom is the hardest job in the world?
Yeah.
Try being a redhead on roofing in July. That's hard.
Really? It's true.
Yeah, he's all,
Yeah.
really? You roofed?
No.
Oh.
But try being a redhead in the summertime.
Oh, I couldn't.
Where do you think half of all this bullshit came from? Sorry.
Face?
The cancer on my face.
Got you. Sexy job.
I hate to be like stereotypical, but like,
You're thinking lingerie model, aren't you?
well, that's pretty straightforward.
Those are too obvious.
French maid.
What's an obscure job that you wouldn't think is
like a
sexy,
nurse.
but
Like,
is sexy?
You know what? That's ever since Kara has been like wearing scrubs, like that is like hot. Like
Hello, nurse.
a nurse, like a dental assistant or whatever. Like Kara's been wearing the scrubs all the time now. What?
I got it.
What? Were you,
I'm ready for it.
what?
nothing.
Have you seen the like women who do outdoors?
Yes.
Yes.
Very hot.
Very hot.
Very hot.
There's this one
Yeah.
girl. She was on Joe Rogan,
Yep.
and she does.
I don't know. But I agree.
She's a
Yes,
professional
wholeheartedly.
fisherwoman, and that's pretty
Goodness.
awesome.
Yeah. Those are hot.
Does
Dude, if a girl could provide for me, hell yeah.
does cosplay count as a profession?
Yep.
I mean, yeah,
Because
I can agree with you there.
just leave that.
I don't
one
know
there.
what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you mean.
Let's see what else is there.
Oh, a girl shooting a bow. That's hot.
Dude, girls shooting guns.
Right?
Super hot.
What
It's
is it
either
about?
one extreme or the other. Let's
What
be
is
honest.
it about girls doing like manly things? It's so hot. I think that's what the thing is about skateboarding is like it's a traditional man thing to do.
Yep.
So when a girl comes out and can slay it, it's just like
And kills it. Yeah.
I think it's because suddenly it's like we share a passion.
I think it's just like
I think
a big middle
it's just
finger to
hot.
everybody and stereotypes and
hot.
stuff. It's kind
I
of
think
Who's
it's
that
also
one?
the
Who's
fact
that one golfer chick?
Oh yeah. I know who you talking about.
See, I think
I know what you said.
I think we've collectively figured it out, boys. Her name's Paige.
Paige.
those
I can't
PTA
remember.
moms. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them are Karens.
Volleyball players.
PTA moms? Yeah,
Yes.
they are.
Beach volleyball.
Well,
New subject.
this whole podcast is gonna get us in trouble.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Oh,
Tony's gonna get in trouble.
5 men
She
and a
doesn't
pillow.
I'm trying to think of like a legit, like what's a hot profession, man? Like a
I think
Just never really.
freaking coworker, bro.
if a teacher, like if there's a hot teacher,
A lifeguard.
Yeah, teacher.
like as a
I mean, if you think about it, lifeguard because of the Sandlot when
In the
he
sun?
drowns on purpose
Right.
to get mouth to mouth. What was her
His
name?
life was never the same. Some peppercorn.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah.
that'll
Pepper?
get you a charge.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
gosh, what else?
Girls in
Secretary.
camo.
She's going straight to jail. You saved the life of a drowning boy, straight to jail.
What's that from?
Parks and Rec. They have like a dictator in or something. He's like,
The way you,
you
said
undercooked chicken, jail. You overcooked chicken. It's an undercooked overcooked, straight to jail.
it, the way you first said that the first time, I thought you were that girl off of Modern Family. What's
Yeah.
her name?
Sophia.
Sophia
Oh,
Vergara.
yeah.
That's a hot profession. Just being
Just-
her.
Just being Sophia
Whatever it
Vergara.
is she's doing.
That's a hot profession.
Killing it.
What about
You know
Jennifer?
the tick, 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 tick.
You know, who's that? J-Lo? Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, J-Lo.
She looks great for her age.
Right, she's like 55
Shakira.
or something like that.
Did you? I saw a
Shrek
picture.
Kira.
I saw a picture the other day, and it was a picture of her and Ben Affleck, like kind of in their like just like morning clothes or whatever, with a giant bag of Dunkin' Donuts. She had like 2 drinks, and he had another one, and the caption was, "I can show you the world."
I'm lost.
I think it was just making fun of him, like her ditching A-Rod and then ending up with Ben Affleck again. Because like he was in super good shape.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
Question. Do you guys collect anything? So Brooke Maples asked, do you guys collect anything? I collect Pez dispensers and hate.
And hate.
And hate. All right.
Oh, sorry, hats. I was laughing and squinting. It says hats.
I like collecting hate. That's a good one.
The best part is those are 2 like opposite Pez dispensers, childhood fun little candy dispensing things, and hate.
I collect hate. I consume it.
This hate is mine.
How was your childhood?
The hate is when
my
the Pez
gosh.
ran out.
Oh, what do you collect?
I don't anymore.
I say I collect movies.
Oh yeah, you guys do
Yeah.
collect movies.
Tony doesn't.
I'm not anymore. I used to
Mine's-
collect Garfield stuff. I still have it all. I just don't collect it anymore.
I'm trying to think if I don't think I collect anything.
See,
I collect-
Mine's the physical. I gotta have the physical movies.
disc.
Yeah.
What happens when that's just gone?
It's a
not gonna
collection.
be.
Like
It's gonna be a thing of the past.
It's not gonna be.
It's
has to
it's
be.
gonna be like records. It's gonna be like vintage.
It
and
can't be
cool.
because
come back.
here's the reason. Then I've actually like looked into a lot of other people why they collect the physical one too. It's because how many times do you go to try to watch a movie and it's streaming on this service, but then a week later it's streaming on this service, and then a week later it's streaming on another service. And
Never.
so
or it's not even streaming at all.
yes, or it's not even streaming at all.
Never.
Austin,
I never
yes,
have that
Austin
problem.
never
Never.
has that problem.
I don't have that problem either. But continue.
But like
Yes.
records, like you're saying, I mean, they use records when they DJ and stuff like that, and now they have the discs or what the. It's always going to be something. I think he's right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I mean,
Like-
you also collect souls. We've decided that.
it ain't helping me. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I collect anything. I mean, I think we just each have our passions, but I don't collect anything. I don't think.
I mean, I think of it as like
Medieval weaponry.
Lately, it's been calories.
That's what I want. That's what I want to collect.
right, dude. Armor.
Actually, I do have a little collection of those mini figurines, like the Legos. I have a Star Wars and then a Lord of the Rings collection.
I do love collecting Legos.
Would you consider yourself a gun collector?
No, he's just
I-
a one-man army.
I plead the fifth, just in case.
Fair enough.
I do.
He has one. He has one or two.
Gosh, I'm gonna take them boating next weekend. We'll see if the boat sinks.
Legos and Gundam models for me.
What's a Gundam model?
It's like a robot. Like think like car models.
Okay.
So it's like that, but they're
like anime robots.
They're anime
right?
robots, basically.
Yeah.
They're just. I always loved robots as a kid, and so I found it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like my dream! These super cool robots. They got cool guns and swords." And it's called Gunpla, which is like short for Gundam Plastic Models. It's huge in Japan, so they're all over the place. And I found them when I was really young, and I really enjoy putting those things together. Like it's such a chill, like
yeah.
mental relaxation for me is just to build these models or Legos and stuff.
Side note: didn't they built a Gundam
They did
in Japan?
built a life-size one.
Did anything ever come of it?
So it's still there. It's at a factory. It's basically like almost like a little theme park. So it's a factory where they make a lot of different of these Gundam models and memorabilia, and it stands outside. It's a life-size model of the very first one.
Yeah.
It's attached to a giant mechanical arm, so it can't walk by itself, but it does like
Until they go into war, and then they're
Right,
like,
dude?
"Surprise,
Dude,
motherfucker!
that's what I'm saying. We stay friends with the Japanese.
We got a Gundam model, T1X."
Because it'll actually like, I think it's like every hour on the hour kind of thing. They'll play like its theme song and it'll start like walking out and stuff. And like it's fully
Really?
posable, but it's connected to
A
a
crane.
giant crane kind of thing
Got
that
you.
controls it.
What
That's
if,
dope.
What would be if we were to go to war with legit, like giant robots and stuff? What would be America's? Like, do you think it'd be a Transformer?
Bald eagle.
Like Optimus Prime? No, I mean like.
Power
Can
Rangers.
you imagine being the guy that had to test that?
Oh
You just
no,
get
because Power
squished.
Rangers isn't even ours either.
Yeah, but that's just America in general. We take what's up.
We're a melting pot, Tony.
Well,
is
Transformers wasn't
Transformers-
American either.
Son of a, we don't have anything.
Bro, can tell me what's American food?
Thundercats.
They're aliens.
Oh, yeah. Valid.
Oh, no.
You know
No,
what
we
I,
just have big robots too.
you know what I would think Austin's collection is? You're a collector of tech.
Yeah, yeah.
Parts.
Love collecting
Anything tech. I mean,
love tech.
tech savvy.
Love it.
Yep. That if you were to be a collector of anything, that's what I would think you'd be.
Technology.
Yeah, I just want my house to be fully autonomous. one day.
You know,
Bathe me.
in the movies, that always ends up badly.
That's all
Just
right.
saying.
I will die on that sword. I don't even care, man. I'll be like, yeah, but did you see how cool it was? Look at this. It's making me coffee.
And then it threw the coffee in your face.
Threw it in my face.
It's freaking sweet.
Next question.
Why do most of us guys giggle at the word pecker?
You know what's funny is we've actually had that
Got
question
him.
before.
I
This
think
is-
I
I've
remember
read that
having that
question.
This is
question.
from 5 months ago from ceiling fans and stuff.
He must have
Yeah.
asked that twice.
I
Or-
actually,
No,
I
that
brought
was
it up
been
last
read.
time. Yeah, I read
Oh,
it up
did
last
you?
time. I do.
That's funny.
Yep.
Pecker.
Personally, I don't think that one's. I
funny
find
word.
penis more funny.
Yeah, I think penis is funnier too.
The only reason.
Especially when you do
The
it
only
with
reason
peanut.
it's funny for me is because every time I think of Austin Powers too. Pecker.
I always think the pluralization of penis is more funny because you don't know how to
Peni?
say it. Is it peni?
Peni.
It's
Peni
like,
Personally,
it's
I
like
just-
dildos.
Penises.
How do you spell that?
Personally,
Dildos?
I don't know how to pluralize dildos.
Dildos.
I always think the opposite's dillbucks.
Dildos?
Dildos and dillbucks.
How many dildos were there? I don't know, but I'm sore and I want to go home.
I love that stand up so much, dude. It's so good.
It's from a comedian.
What was his name?
He always had the like
The
giant
sheet.
thing of paper.
Yeah, so good.
He's like, what is he?
The graphs. He always did the
Like,
graphs.
this is a pie chart on.
This is how interesting I think your cat is, depending on how attractive you are. You can see at a certain point, I don't care how attractive you are. I don't give a fuck about your cat anymore.
Wouldn't that be Dimitri Martin?
Yes,
that's it.
that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always does the
He's
graphs
so
and stuff.
funny.
I love it.
This is a pie chart on procrastination. It's just a circle.
Oh, and then to finish that joke about the cat, and he's like, and when you leave the room, I try to get your cat. I try to get it. Anyway.
A ponytail on a man. Oh my
I'm having to go
god!
watch that stand up now.
What does he say? A ponytail on a man. Oh, it says "Don't f with me." Pigtails on a man says "Hold these while you f me." He's so good.
Location is very important. All right, what's the next question? We're going off on a tangent.
I always
Half the
see
people listening
bottles-
are like, "What's going
People
on?"
say this bottle is this cup is either half full or half empty. I say, what's in it?
Well, it's the contents
The
that matter.
contents that matter. Like, is this a glass full of baby's blood? Like, where's it going? Where's it coming from?
Is it going to a
is
baby?
it going to a baby?
Then,
No,
then
we
it's
got
a half
that's
a
a lot.
glass full of blood. Baby's
Is it
blood.
coming from a baby? We got to talk about it.
It's a half empty. I'm going half empty on this one. It's a half empty. Don't worry. It's the half empty cup of baby's blood.
Oh my goodness! You guys really don't remember that?
No.
Never heard of
I
him
didn't
before.
get
Really?
into. I didn't get into him much.
That was his best special. I
Oh,
think.
by
just
far.
that one for
Yeah.
sure.
That was
let's
his
see
peak.
here.
Woo!
Yeah, like I said. Well, it's hard. Like I said, a lot of these.
Is there any comments?
Loads of comments.
There's tons of
Yeah.
comments. We can get rid of the contains questions.
Comment on your
And I
commentary.
haven't responded. Let's see here. Katina Carson Hunwi. I hope I didn't slaughter that. I'm sorry. Said happy birthday, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. So did Laurier. She said it too.
Okay, let's
So did Linda
Let's go
Flanagan.
to other comments.
Maxine Newton.
Here's
All the birthday wishes.
a question, and we probably won't even answer this, but
My
I'm going to
birthday's
ask
in
it.
4 days.
Of course.
Bet.
What is it about your marriage that you wouldn't want your father-in-law to know?
The nitty gritty.
You know what? That sounds like a trap.
It is a trap because my father-in-law asked this question.
Okay.
What is it? What is it that you don't want your father-in-law to know?
What is it about your marriage that you wouldn't want your father-in-law to know?
It's that he hates his father-in-law.
I do not.
I wouldn't want him to know either.
It's a double-edged sword right there.
Right?
It's the position that child number 2 is conceived.
What's that? The Batman. The guy that plays the
not
dirty
in that
Batman.
order.
He's like in an order that would surprise you. All three. In an order that would surprise you. Where are the drugs?
Have you seen the one where he's trying to do his voices that he's gonna do? He's got the guy hanging upside down. He's like, I'm just gonna practice something. Where are the drugs? Because he's talking like, hey, where are the drugs? He's like, yeah, that one's scary.
Dude.
What about this one? And he goes over all these different voices.
He's like practicing his tone.
Yeah,
That's on Lego
awesome.
Batman?
No.
Oh.
It's that comedian.
College humor, isn't it?
yeah,
College humor. Yeah.
Oh,
The guy
okay.
that's like, it makes no effing sense when he's
Yeah.
talking about the universe.
yeah.
We've shared it multiple times in the
Your
He's-
chair
he's-
is made out of atoms,
Molecules.
molecules.
Yeah.
Your hand is made out of the same molecules.
science says.
These molecules should pass through these molecules, but they don't.
And you know what the scientists say? They don't know why.
He's like,
never heard
no,
this.
it's what do scientists say when you ask them why that is? We don't know.
It makes no effing sense. We'll show you later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
But
show
also,
you.
side note, did you guys see P. Diddy dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker?
Yep.
No.
Scary
That was
accurate.
insane.
Really?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
Like it almost felt like it was freaking Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that was
Really?
It's
insane.
nuts.
P. Diddy?
Yep.
Yeah, and he stayed in character apparently all night long.
Yep.
Did you see that Kevin Hart dressed as Tyrion Lannister? Yeah. That was freaking epic, dude. So funny.
That was good.
Oh, it
That
was
was
so good.
Wait, what was that one?
You wouldn't know.
Okay.
You're not
It's
a Game of Thrones
Thrones.
guy.
I've got one from way back. Annette Ward. She said a comment. Leave it to Tony to want to be taxidermied. It freaks me out to see an animal taxidermied, let alone a human. LOL.
When did you say you wanted to be taxidermied?
That's our ridiculous deathbed requests.
Oh my
That'd
gosh.
be funny.
Also, I just want Chris to
I'd
know
want to be
that
taxidermy though in a position that's like creepy.
so you could be
You know,
a
like-
freaking
like-
lawn ornament in Halloween.
Yeah. Like have me down like
It looks so
crawling.
lifelike.
break your legs, put them backwards.
That's my
see?
grandpa.
I ate my grandpa. Just kidding. What's that off of? Oh, it's grandma. Never mind. Moana.
Deb Joe Evans said, "Happy birthday, Chris. I like your voice. Heart, your voice."
Could you tell my wife that, please?
Just kidding. She doesn't like your voice.
Lisa? I mean, she deals with it.
Gotta
Any
go way
other
back.
questions?
Trying to look for questions, comments. A lot of these are "Happy birthday, Chris. Get out the way."
Who's Josh Gates? Here's one from
Josh
Carrie
Gates, that guy is
McBrien.
great. He's a explorer type dude.
This is from Carrie McBrien. She says, "OMG, you guys with Josh Gates on an expedition."
Dude, it would be a blast.
He would leave us for dead.
He would. He's hilarious though. Very, very smart about what he does, but he's got a humor to it and stuff.
Huh.
I like his reels.
Yes.
His like short videos and
I
stuff.
think I've shared a couple of them where he typically does it with the Wheel of Fortune. And the people are trying to guess it, and they're like, he makes fun of them because it's like, it literally should be this. And he says something else, and he's like, no.
he's just sitting there like,
Oh,
"Geez,
that
dude."
would-
And then they ask like, "What's a 3-letter fruit?"
No, it's a 3-letter animal. And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's like,
Animal, he's
ant,
like,
dog,
ant.
cat.
Well, he says like, well, he says like pig, and he's like about to eat something, and the guy in the show's like turtle, and he's like, ant, dog, cat. And, like he just goes off.
Yeah, and then they bring up the second guy, and he's like, all right, we We got some good news and some bad news. It's all bad. And he's like, name a 3-letter animal. And he's like, ant, dog, cat, anything. Alligator. Oh my gosh.
All of them are terrible.
Here's a question. I don't know if we dare answer this one.
Of course we do.
What is your wife's worst habit or thing she does that you hate?
Plead the fifth.
Oh, come on. Out of everything in your life that you decide to not talk about, this is the one?
I think we've done this. Have we? No, we haven't. I
we
just
might have.
remember
I
you
can't
pleading
remember.
the fifth before on something that had to
What
do
was the
Because
question
he
one more time?
knows his wife will listen.
What is
My
your
wife does
wife's
listen.
worst habit or thing she does that you hate?
Nothing. I love my wife and everything that she does.
She's perfect in every way.
Yes, she is.
Chews on her fingernails. It drives me nuts.
Jess does?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, his other wife.
Kara does.
She's gotten a lot
Austin
better.
hates it.
She's gotten a lot better because now she'll actually try and keep her, like if her nails are kept done, then she doesn't chew on them. Like if they're painted and stuff. But if they're not, then she just sits and chews on them at night, and it drives me nuts.
And it continues to. If you don't want to answer that, then what small thing she does that irritates you?
Same question.
It is. That was from Dorothy Riley from our episode of our unexplainable spine-chilling stories.
My wife is not as tidy
I get that.
as
guess-
I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes I give up on it and it makes me mad at myself because I'm just like, well, it's not freaking going any. Oh, do you want
Here we go. Floodgates are open.
She knows I love her. We're not perfect.
you 3 minutes of playtime.
She leaves
No,
her
this takes
towel.
away
She'll
3
get out of the
minutes of
shower
playtime.
and leave out of the bathroom in her towel. She leaves her
Yes.
towel somewhere where it's not supposed to be, goes and takes another shower. She uses my towel. I go to take a
really?
shower
And your towel's
You got
wet.
and
no
my towel's
towel.
wet.
No.
That drives me nuts.
You know what my wife does?
Oh, here we go.
Or my kids.
Huh.
They'll take a shower. Like my kids will use our shower and everything, or Kara will, and they'll actually use my towel. And then I'm up at 4:30 in the morning and I take a shower and I'm just not paying attention. Next thing you know, I turn off the shower and I reach out for a towel and there's nothing there.
Nothing.
I've had that
And
too.
it's 4:30 in the morning, and you think I'd wake anybody up? Nope. I got to run
Hey.
around the house butt naked.
That'll
get in a
stop
towel.
happening. Wake her up.
Oh, I will next time. Start yelling. Hey!
Jump on her
You
naked and
gotta do
wet.
the washcloth
Let's do
run.
an episode on
You have like
bad
a
advice
rag.
with Chris.
Rag this big, and you're like, ah, crap.
Just jump on her naked and
Just the
wet.
balls are hanging down.
Hit her with the wet boys.
There we go.
Just right in the face.
Just start using her
Do a
hat.
tea bag. A wet tea bag.
The funny thing is,
Spot.
Dry off on her blanket.
my
Just go roll up next to her. And
No, like pull it off and rub it on your body and then put it back.
when I say my girls, I mean Katie. Katie's been guilty of it, of stealing my towel. And I'll look at her the next day and I'll be like, so you stole my towel last night, huh? And she goes, oh, I didn't have one and I needed to dry myself off. And I'm like, all right. You just remember the last thing I dried off with that towel with was, and she looks at me and I'm like, yeah, you just think about it.
You're like, and I had Taco Bell.
Oh, I'm talking about the other dangly things.
Hey, you can take it from the back
I
to the
mean,
front.
yeah,
That's
it's true.
true.
Back to the front.
You have two danglies?
Dude, you gotta floss it.
Hang on. No. I want to back this up a tad.
I misspoke. Let's not
Okay.
go there.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm talking about
How many
the,
danglies
I'm
are
talking
there?
about the two danglies, you know, in the sack.
Gotcha.
There you go.
The twig and berries.
Yes.
My towel is my
wiggly
towel.
bits.
That's just like
I get that.
That's my personal
Yep.
I get that.
space in a non-personal.
I will
environment.
say Jess has gotten better over time at cleaning up, and it's been wonderful. It's been a lot better lately.
Lisa really does try, and then she'll revert, and then she tries again.
I thought of another thing. Jess will run the laundry with the intent to do it and then leave the baskets in the bedroom for like a week. And then all of my clothes get super wrinkly and it infuriates me to my core. I'm like, just don't do the laundry. Like, do the laundry with a day and then pull me aside. Like, hey, we're going to do laundry today in an hour. Got it? Got it. Okay, let's go do it before it gets all wrinkly.
Yeah.
Dude, we all marry the same woman.
Lisa will. I'm sorry, honey. Lisa will start a load and forget about it and get busy doing something else
Bingo.
and leaves it in the washer.
Dude.
Yep.
That's why I do
And
laundry.
then you have to rerun the
Yeah,
washer.
sometimes you have to do it a couple times because of that
That's
mildew. Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
mildew.
I typically do the laundry at our house.
I have
every
honestly
Sunday.
contemplated starting to do the laundry.
That's
Every
the
Sunday
dryest
I do the laundry and then
Austin's
I
out there
lay out
looking
the
for the
clothes.
tech that does laundry.
Dude, for real?
Yeah.
I've considered it.
Dude, it should be a washer on top. It washes it, and when it's done, it just dumps it to the bottom, and then dries it itself.
Yeah, and then it folds it. And then puts
Shoots
it
it
away.
out folded.
There is a machine out there that folds your laundry for you.
Get out.
Yes.
I want it. I'm
Yes.
buying it tomorrow. Where is it?
I have no clue, but I know it's
on
like
the way.
super expensive.
It's on the way.
Have you seen the
We have the
templates? That's like a
technology.
cardboard template.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you put the pants and you just fold the
Yeah.
cardboard up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it folds your
A lot of
laundry.
retailers will use that. Yeah.
Just attach some arms and pistons.
But redemption, honey. She goes out of her way to try to help me with anything. Like if I'm too stressed, or she'll go out of her way to do that. And so she'll get caught behind or whatever on other stuff. So she's trying to do everything at once. So
She is
These all-
awesome at that.
yeah.
These all sound very familiar. I think, well, in general, with all the girls in my house, it's just not putting things back where they go.
Yeah.
Like whether it be tweezers, toenail clippers,
Yeah.
whatever. Because I'll go to use it and it's not there.
Oh, I hate that.
And I'm like, where the frick is this thing? And they're like, oh, it's in this room on this. I'm like, that's not where it goes.
Or if I leave something out, I leave it out for a reason. And then
Uh-huh.
she'll go put it somewhere where it's not supposed to go. And my
Does-
brain
yeah, doesn't
does
even go
not commute where this would be. And it's not supposed to be in that spot.
Oh my god.
And I was like, just leave it and I'll take care of it. But I left it out for a reason because of the project or whatever. I left it. I have like a clutter spot that I'll put tools or something if I'm going to use them again. And that's where they go. They stay there till I put them away.
Yeah.
But she'll go move everything around. And then she'll be like, I don't know, where'd you put it? I was like, I don't think this was me.
Prove us here, and I don't think I'm the culprit.
If we're having a heart to heart, I don't think it was me.
My favorite is when like they'll go looking for something that only they use. I don't even touch or use.
Uh-huh.
They're like, hey, do you know where this is? And I'm like, maybe if you put it back, you would have found it by now. Interesting. And they just roll their eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the other day. Katie was complaining because she couldn't find any of her underwear. I was like, did you go look here? Did you go look here? She goes, yes, I looked everywhere. So Kara gets
you
up. Kara gets up and looks in one of the clothes basket and immediately pulls a pair of panties out. And she's like, how did you find those? And Kara's like, oh my gosh, get
have
out of here.
eyeballs.
Like, and that's Katie lately, or any of the girls. I can't find this. And you take 2 seconds. I think
that's a
and we find it.
Yeah,
a
for
kid
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Kaylee does it all the time, and I'm always like, if I find it immediately when I get in there, this is what's gonna happen.
Like, okay, I'll go look one more time.
Found it.
We have like little mini wars. Like Lisa has her side of I have my side of the bathroom counter. She has her side of the bathroom counter. Hers will get filled up and she starts encroaching on my territory. I start moving it back onto her. It's like a game of Risk. Because you don't want to get the spy. You know?
Have you seen the like picture meme thing where it's like, you left the toilet seat up again, and then it shows the countertop and it's just like hairbrushes, straighteners, curling irons, like all this stuff all over. Sorry,
I
honey.
will say there are a lot of pluses to dating Jess, and that is definitely one of them. She does not leave any of that mess, which is wonderful.
Now it's inspired me to go home and ask her, what bugs you about me?
Dude, mine,
Just
with
to be fair.
Shaylee, it's always her pillow. Like, 'cause she has a giant pillow, and I have like a normal sized pillow, And so her pillow will encroach on my side of the bed.
Uh-oh.
And so like I'll hurry and go into the room before her and I'll like push it over. So it's like slightly hanging off the edge and I'm like, okay, right in the middle. And like move my stuff over so I'm like, it can't come back. Yeah, dude. I love the heck out of
She
you,
comes
but
in,
get
you-
off my side.
You have tape up the wall. You're like, okay, this is your side.
I will say,
Plexiglass with a little hole so I can kiss her.
when Jess had her, when she was pregnant with Micah and Paige, and we had that queen size bed, she had that giant
body
pregnancy.
pillow?
No, it was worse. A pregnancy
Yeah.
pillow. It's the double. It's the body.
It's like
pillow
the hook thing.
to a pillow
the
to a
loop or
body
whatever.
pillow.
Yeah.
It's a freaking horseshoe
Yeah,
of a pillow.
Shirley had one of those.
And
worst.
dude, that thing took up 3/4 of that bed, and it drove me nuts. But I was like, you can't fight her, man. She's pregnant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, do whatever you got to do to be comfortable. And I learned
Enjoy
it
it for your
literally.
9 months.
I literally laid on the edge of the bed for 9 months. But now we have a much bigger bed. Now it's just like we get lost in that
Do
thing.
your thing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
I already said one.
Zach did.
Throw your
He
head.
It's
didn't
Tony.
say
It's
anything.
been quiet.
Throw yourself under the bus
No,
here.
it has been Tony who's
Join
been quiet
us.
over here.
It was not on purpose. You guys were just going nuts. I was letting you get it out.
You're sweating.
No, I'm just oily.
Glistening. He's glistening like Edward.
No, I would say one is she overthinks things. And yeah,
My
drives me
What do you
nuts.
mean I want to overthink her?
Love Jenny to death, and I have seen that out of her too.
Oh man, it's like just like I'm trying to think of. She's kind of laid off of social media a lot lately, but back when she would do it, like if it was one of the kids' birthdays, she would literally have to be like, "Hey, leave me alone for like 10 minutes. I got to make this post," and it was like to announce one of the kids' birthdays or something. But it's like a paragraph of just saying like it's their blah 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 birthday, but it has to be worded perfect and this and that, and she'll like proofread it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a post. Like just post
send it, man.
It's gonna disappear in
out there.
people's feeds in less than an hour.
People
Like,
aren't even going to read it. They're going to look
so-
at the picture and either double tap it or swipe.
yeah.
Yeah.
but just-
no TLDR, man. Happy birthday.
Just,
Literally, I'll see like, it's so-and-so's birthday. I'm like, cool.
But just anything, she just overthinks it. And it's like, that can be a great quality depending on what it is. But there's also a lot of times that it's just like, let's just decide and move on. But there's that one. And then the other one that came to mind was, she got mad at me one time because I used the word a one-upper. But thinking about it, she's not necessarily one-upping. She'll say things to kind of just relate to the
She wants to
situation.
add to the situation.
Yeah. But it's like anything I say, I'm trying to think like, it's like the
Trying
kids
to
will
word
be
it perfectly.
Song just came to my head.
I guess the argument I can never have is when it has to do with the kids. So like say Reggie's crying and freaking out and I'm like, I can't stand it. And she's like, yeah, I have to be with it all day long. And it's like, she doesn't mean anything by it or anything like that. But it's like, can I just have this moment to be frustrated? I get that you're home with it all day long. And I'm grateful that you do that. And you're amazing at it. But it's like, I'm pissed off in this moment. I just need this moment. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me stew for a second.
It's,
Yeah.
I have learned because I had a similar situation where I've now learned to just say, I'm just venting.
Yeah.
And in that, and in just saying I'm venting, they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like,
Well, and there's times I've snapped at her and she's said it back. She's like, I'm just simply saying because I can relate to the situation. She's like, I didn't mean to sound like I'm trying
You're like,
to.
then say that. Just say, I can relate to.
yeah,
I got it.
Honestly, it's just don't say anything at all.
No, I agree. Like,
I hear you saying it.
It almost feels like it's invalidating to your feelings,
Yeah.
right?
guess
It's
so.
like no, it's like I feel this way, and I get you may feel this way, but I don't all the time, and I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
And so just because you feel it all the time doesn't mean that my feelings are invalid.
Right.
Because I've been that like I've had this same thought with like interacting with a lot of women like my sister and my mom and stuff like that. It's like, if I'm frustrated with them or upset about something and I tell them, they then get sad because of my frustration. And then it turns into, hey, I need to vent and I need help with my frustration too. I need to console you and tell you that you're okay. And like, it's like you have to push, okay, my feelings don't matter anymore. It's okay. You're fine. I'm not mad at you. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
I see what
And
you're
that's
saying.
often why like Jess is like, you don't ever tell me what's wrong. I'm like, because it'll make a big
because I'll get 2 seconds and then you'll take it over.
It makes a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, it's like it's easier for me to just stay quiet.
I'm just going to shut up.
You just you pick your battles.
I gotta go to work. It's 12 in the morning, dear.
Get an early start.
No.
Well, that's one of the like misunderstandings we have too, because there will be times that we are kind of having a venting conversation where she'll say some things, I'll say some things, and part of it is like I had a hard day at work. Well, she had a hard day at home, and her home life never stops. And so then naturally, before my words can even come out, she's like, I'm not saying I want to. She's like, I love being a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to go back to work. And it's like, because she knows that that's where it's coming.
Good, because somebody just pulled landscaping duty.
Because like in my head, I'm like, well, if it's so hard at home, then get a part-time job and you know, use that excuse to get away for a sec. Not that she could right now with the babies. It would be ridiculous. But yeah, she can see the words like coming out of my mouth though.
The idea of forming behind your eyes.
Preemptively striking.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Let me flip it. If you had to think one thing that drives your wife nuts about you, what would it be?
Oh man, too much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I fart a lot.
Okay, on that, I know 100% Jenny hates how long I'm in the bathroom when I have to poop.
Bro.
Funny thing is, if you ever want to know if Tony's in the bathroom, that's when we get all of our memes and everything
Only
sent
if
to
it's
us.
during 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we gotta
dude, you
poop on
gotta.
company time.
That's right. Boss makes $1. I make a dime.
That's why I poop on company time.
But no, really, like there's times I've snapped because like I'll come downstairs and she's like in the middle of trying to cook dinner, and I come downstairs, she's holding Reggie upset because he needed her attention when she's trying to cook dinner, and I was upstairs pooping, and she's like frustrated. And I'm like, excuse me for having to poop. Like, and she's like, well, you just take so long. I'm like, do you think I enjoy it? I'm like, I don't want to be
I
in there.
chose these bowels.
I secretly do, but I'm not gonna
No,
admit it.
there's times,
the break
honestly, I'm like sitting in there like, all right, I really want to wrap this up. Like, can we just be done here? And it's natural stuff that it's like, all right,
It's
this
the poo-poo that has claws that won't let go, huh?
Yeah.
The
Or
one
like
that
the bellies-
burns coming out, and it's like that
Or
big.
like the belly's still rumbling, and I'm like, I know the moment I wipe and get off this toilet, I'll be back in here 2 minutes later. So it's like, I'm just going to hold it out and just let things finish.
Yup.
That was, but yeah, that's one.
I don't know what mine would be.
I know another one is, well, I get snappy, especially with the kids. She doesn't like that. In my eyes, I'm like, well, she does it too. But
Two wrongs make a left.
Dude, I do believe like women are definitely blessed with something that makes them tolerate a lot more.
it's true,
from their
right?
offspring. Like there's
Her argument, which is
again though, they're with them a lot more than we are.
Right. We all have our moments.
So like there's
sure.
there's days when I can come home and I'm with 30 minutes go by and I'm like, I want to throw you both out a window.
her argument, which is very, very true, is she's like, you come home, by the time you get home, it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock. We have to eat dinner, get them ready for bed, and in bed by 8:30. She's like, you have roughly an hour and a half with them at night. I just don't want to see you snapping at them so that the only time they see you in that day, Dad's mad. And it's like,
Don't make him mad.
Very simple solution.
It's real easy.
Me and Lisa have had that conversation, and I was like, but I am home on the weekends. And I've seen you act the same way in the morning on the weekends as you do later on in the day. So I said, I don't think that excuse is valid.
I was gonna say.
That's at which she gets mad. But then she's like, but I am there all week long. I was like, okay, that's a valid point. But when it comes to Alden, I'm way better at communicating and coming to an understanding with him.
See, and this is where the different clashing with the kids comes in. Because it's like she says that to me kind of in general, but it's like I've seen the way she is with Brinley, and I'm like, yeah.
But
So,
yeah, and I owe that, honestly, the way I communicate with my kid, I owe it to how my dad was to me. He was not, like you learn a lot from your parents, a lot of how to act and how not to act, right?
Yeah.
I learned a lot of how not to act. And I had to fervently focus on that. So there is that. But yeah, I mean, my wife's a saint having to be. It is a hard job. It's got to be.
Oh, heck yeah.
All day.
I think the other hard thing is, though, like, when you get home, they've spent all day dealing with their like your offspring, your children and stuff,
Right.
which is a one type of frustration in ways. But then you come home having to deal with other human beings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a completely different frustration. Because
what do you
it's
mean?
like,
Yeah.
Dude, I
he's worked before.
I've worked before, definitely.
He has to
But
talk
you know what
to
I mean?
people
Like,
on the phone.
yeah,
all the
like
time,
interacting
so,
with
yeah.
completely different people, different beliefs, growing like grew up differently, all this stuff, and it can be draining.
Right. And
And
that's
like,
that's why coming home, it's the opposite. It's like a haven for me.
Yeah.
It's like,
straight to the pooper. I'll be on 10 minutes. I need to decompress.
but I was going to say, I know what drives my wife, and it's the counter opponent to what I said that drives me nuts about hers. I'm very particular in certain things.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am.
That's me.
I get that.
See, on the flip side, granted, I now work from home, but so does Jess. So not only are we parents together, we're also coworkers.
Right.
So we get a different, although it is easier in some aspects, like parenting, because we're both home with the kids all day. That's also one of the negatives is both of us are home with the kids all day.
Yeah.
So we both need to get our work done around our kids all day.
Do you have a system?
We do, and it's not perfect, but we've definitely figured it out. Like one person will take the kids for a while the other gets some work done, or we try and jumble it between school, or I stay up till 2, 3 in the morning working. She gets up super early, gets some work done before the kids wake up. Like we figure it out. It's not perfect, but it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Right.
I mean, it was great when the pandemic hit because we got to see that we're not crazy. Because when you work from home and you live from home and you like are around each other 24/7, it drives you insane sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was nice for us because we had already been prepping for years on being home 24/7, and then seeing other couples go through that strenuous time was like, okay, it's kind of validating. But yeah, I will say for me personally, I feel like a lot of times I have more patience when it comes to the kids, and then at other times not. Like it's just one of us will be patient when the other one is
Yeah.
not. And it's kind
It's
of
that crazy balance. Like, like it blows my mind how it works. Cause it's not like you coordinate or anything. It just happens that it's like, oh, I'm upset and getting kind of, huffy with the children, but she's calm and more level-headed. And then there's other times when she's upset and I'm like, hey, everything, we cool? It's all right. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
what about you guys, huh? All sunshine and roses?
Yeah.
What? Mary Poppins over there, practically perfect in every way, or what?
I've agreed with everything you guys have said.
Silently.
All right, then.
But yeah.
Second Amendment. I mean, Fifth Amendment.
Second Amendment. No, not that one.
What about the First Amendment? We have the First Amendment, so they had to give us the
Not
Second
when
Amendment.
you're talking to your wife, you don't.
You can say anything you want to, but you're
gotta
gonna
deal
need
with
a gun.
It was number 2. The second thing they wrote down.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Life's funny. Parenting.
I know for us right now, it's just hard given our situation. Because, like, I can see Jenny broken down right now. Because with our kids And then during the day while the older kids are at school, she not only has our 2 babies, but then there's 2 more babies that technically her mom is babysitting, but it ends up being kind of a co-babysitting situation because Jenny can't just watch the kids get into trouble and expect her mom to deal with it. So it's just like this whole co-parenting situation right now, and we're up in each other's businesses, and yeah.
I mean, it's
I
rough
like
enough.
that though. I like being up in my wife's business.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't you mean like being up in like extended family's business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, like it's one thing being in your own family's business, and like for example, me before I got married, I lived alone for like I can't remember how long, like 6 or 7 years. Lived by myself, and it was phenomenal.
Did whatever the
Oh my
I wanted
gosh, it
to
was
do.
so great. It's addictive. You're like, this is fantastic.
I can do
And
whatever
then-
I want.
And then immediately getting married, it's now 3 of us, and then a 4th, and it's like, oh, man, I love you guys so much, but I need to go outside.
Well, when you
I need a moment.
And then you realize why your
alone.
dad has the garage.
when you live in by yourself, it becomes your comfort area, right?
Yeah.
And so, on the flip side of that, though, is when you did get your family, it's huge growth for
Oh,
you,
yeah.
and that's uncomfortable.
Well, and it's that weird thing, like it's that
Which is
funny
good.
like grass is always greener type thing where it's like if I'm home for a really long time, like I just had like a week vacation.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love being at home, but I can tell at the end of it, like I might start to get frustrated quicker about things. And then I go to work, but like the second I'm at work, I'm like, man, I want to be home with my family. It's like I miss them. I want to be with them. Then you get home and you're like, get off of that. Put that away. Don't touch that. And I'm like, oh. But the second you leave, you're like, oh, I miss him.
There was a time, it was a while back, Jenny had to, or didn't have to, but she went down to like St. George for a cousin's wedding, and I couldn't get it off work, and so I had to stay home. And I think at the time we just had Brindley. And so her and Brindley went down with her parents down to this wedding and stayed for a couple nights down in St. George. So for a couple nights, I had the home to myself. And the first night was awesome. I'm like, oh, I'm going to play video games and watch movies and just kind of watch whatever I want. And then it was like that night going to bed by myself. I was like, oh, she's not next to me. And like it didn't take long for it to hit. And I was like, okay. Like,
This is stupid.
Part of me's missing.
but
See, I will say that for Jess and I, because we are around each other so often, we can easily go a weekend away from each other and be like, yeah, no, that was great. I did not miss you at all.
whole different circumstance.
See, our situation right now is like, I have a hard time leaving her, partly because it's like I feel slightly guilty that it's like that house is tough to live in right now, and it's like
I do not envy.
oh, that's actually one that something that kind of bothers me with her that is strictly just a clear misunderstanding in a sense that I don't get it is the having our guy times and girl times as far as getting away, because it's I just tell her, I'm like, just go. She's like, it's not that easy. I'm like, yeah, it is. Just go. Like,
I do it all the time.
she's like, I'm like,
Every other
just
week.
call up your friends, make plans, and go. And sometimes it's her friend's fault, and I'm like, in that case, go out by yourself.
In that case, get better friends.
Like, go catch a movie, go out to eat, just go for a drive, like just leave. And she's like, it's not that easy. And then I'm like, okay, and we're gonna go round and round and round because
But it is, ladies, it is that easy. It really is that easy.
you should not feel guilt.
and
for
this is
taking
where the
care of your mental
overthinking comes in, because then she's like, yeah, but then I start thinking like, okay, did I leave you with enough this and that and that? And it's like, you know what? If you didn't, then I'll figure it out.
Well, guess what? I have a brain.
I can do things.
Well, that's the funniest
It's like,
thing.
I
'cause,
bet
like,
when you come home, the kid's still breathing. Like that's
Exactly.
kind of the.
House won't be on fire. Kids will
that's
still
our
be breathing.
bare minimum. Like I know that I know Shaylee gets bugged sometimes when she leaves, and like Scarlett's super chill for me. Like we're just hanging out, or she'll like fall asleep almost immediately, and so she's like asleep the whole time Shaylee's gone. And Shaylee comes home and she wakes up. I'm like, yeah, she's been napping the whole time. And she's like, The heck?
I saw this comedian. I saw this comedian one
tear your
time.
shirt.
Just tear your shirt back. Bloody myself up a bit. Oh man, I'm glad you're home.
I saw this comedian one time, and he's like, so my wife went away for the weekend, and all weekend long, he's like, I got to see what it was like to be a stay-at-home dad, and I just have to say, it's not that hard.
For real though, it's really not. Like
For me right now, it is, because I do have to say, with like Reggie still kind of being on that borderline where he's getting into solids, but he also still likes the boob and different things. And then I have Kelsey, who's still in diapers as well. And then the two olders, along with all the other nieces and that live there and different things. Honestly, it's like that. If I was in my own home and then she left and I had my own business to deal with, but it's like, I don't want you guys to watch me parent my kids when Jenny's not around. Not that I'm doing anything like
Tell on you.
because I'll beat some ass.
right. I really don't want any witnesses. Like,
Straighten this shit out quick.
I mean, I've heard many stories or anecdotal evidence, basically, from a lot of like mothers, like my own, others, that all a lot of them say that like their children, they do act differently to the mother.
Oh, 100%.
It's almost like they're more over the top with
Push
their
boundaries.
emotions or things like.
well, and they
And
play
like
you
it's-
against each other too.
So yeah,
That's one thing that
But-
we don't allow.
but I mean, yeah, when it's just us, like me and the girls, like we're usually like super chill. And it's,
Well, and that's one
Just hanging
thing.
out.
Like when one person of the family, no matter who in the family leaves, the dynamic changes.
yeah.
And so that immediately changes their behavior. So like kids, and granted, we haven't experienced this yet, but I've heard from other friends that have multiple kids that you even remove like the pack leader who normally fights with, or doesn't fight, but say the two younger siblings fight a lot, and you take the eldest away. All of a sudden, the two younger ones that fight all the time are now playing together, and they're fine.
Yeah.
It's just the dynamic changes and it shifts, and in that shift, things are okay because there's like chaos is removed. And so if the wife leaves, then the kids are going to be chill because it's like it's different, even though it's like the same circumstances. Things are different, and now they're going to behave different.
They're like, why even bother asking for food? He'll tell me to make it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Our kids have learned that about the both of us. They come up and it's funny because they'll come up and I know the answer's no, but and it's like,
Then why are you asking?
then it's probably going to be no.
On
It's like
the
when you
offhand,
start a question that
that's a
way.
Hail Mary, man. I've been there. I asked my wife, I know the answer's no, but how are you feeling on the sex right now? No? Okay. Just thought I'd check in. I know you're super pregnant, but
I'm gonna reverse the role when she comes to me. Is my towel wet? If my towel's wet, the answer is
Wait, your wife comes on to you?
probably.
What's that like?
Just kidding. My wife, no. Well, no.
Dude, the other
My
thing
wife
is,
comes on to me at actually there's one that bothers me. She comes on to me or makes those comments and moves at the wrong time. Like we're in the middle of family dinner. I'm horny for you. Really? Now?
like I'm staring at your dad. Come on.
Pretend you're choking. I'm gonna go help you.
Or it's like we're packing up, getting ready to walk out the door to go somewhere. I'm in the mood. Really? Like we're late. We're grabbing late.
well, now we're going to be real late.
Don't you
Kids,
so
you go
that,
back.
that's just so
Games.
later they could be like, I tell you all the time. It's like, you pick the times that you know it's not going to happen.
It's the mind games, man. Well, I was in the mood. No, you weren't. You were never in the mood to begin with.
You
You were
were
just
never in
toying
the
with my
move.
emotions.
That and the
with my
difference is
soul.
too is her mood is
Puppet master.
literally like a 5-minute window. It's like I'm in the mood. It's like 5 minutes. Where it's like me, I could wake up at 9 a.m. and be like, I'm in the mood. And at midnight that night, so I'm still in the mood.
So remember what I said this morning?
And it gets worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't subside.
It's like a volcano. Like it's like the volcano's kind of smoking in the morning. By the end of the night, it's spitting ash.
Like, babe, I farted and it rumbled those balls a little too much. Can you help me out here?
I just created an island. Like, let's go for it.
Hawaii just sprouted another island.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Anything else? This is fun, man.
I like it.
If I had to say, because I've been thinking on the one that you asked about, if we had to reverse the question, I would have to say for me, probably not getting up in the morning.
That's what she doesn't like.
Yeah. Because she loves when I'm driven. And in her mind, a person who's driven is someone who wakes up early in the morning, gets ready, gets going, gets,
I share that with her.
And that's not me. Like, I can sleep in till 8, 9. But the thing is my drive kicks in right now here at midnight. I can go and crank out a full day of work till 2, 3 in the morning, sleep in till 9. And
So you turn the tables and see her sleeping now, and it's like, why are you sleeping? We got work to do.
No, I understand her drive because
I
she gets
know,
up
but-
at 5:30 to go to the gym. It's freaking bananas.
That's what's wild. Is like getting up in the morning and getting things done always feels way better when you do it. Like when you actually get up and get moving.
But that's you, because that's not me either. I'm the same
Oh,
way.
dude, no, I'm 100% like 2 or 3 a.m. Like I've always been a night person, but
Right.
I feel more accomplished.
Same.
When I get up.
Oh,
early
yeah.
and
Okay,
actually
yeah.
do stuff
I
in the
get
morning.
that.
Like
Well,
the
you've got
idea
3
of it.
extra
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. No, exactly. Because like when you're done doing your crap and it's like 9 a.m., you're like, freak. Rest of the day is a free day. I'm like, this is great.
But see, and on the reverse, like I get my stuff done at 3. I wake up at 9, say, and then it's like I have a free day. But it still, for whatever reason, doesn't feel as accomplishing as
Yeah,
getting
it's
your work
weird.
done in the morning. It doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
get it either.
So it's like, what do I? But I have a full day. Like right now, tomorrow is pretty much a free day, so I can get up and play with the kids. But
I think it's because you have that accomplishment of finishing whatever the task was. And if you can start your day by finishing a task, then
there is science to that. I forget
yeah.
about that.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
Make
really
your
cool.
bed.
Well, there's like,
That for real. Like,
No, I love
they
that
really
guy.
do say that. Yeah, waking
What was
up. And
it?
making
It was
your-
a naval admiral,
Right.
That like gave that talk like a
Start with a small task. Make your
But
bed.
then there's guys like Jim Gaffigan who makes the joke about making your bed. He's like, why would I make my bed when I'm just going to crawl back into
a
it?
valid point
He's
also.
like, well, then he's like, that's like tying your shoes and then trying to put them on.
It's so true, man. There's two sides to that coin.
But on the opposite side of that, if I feel like I'm accomplishing some of the things before I go to bed that I'm not stressed about, I actually feel accomplished and I can try to go to sleep. It helps
Yeah.
me go to sleep a lot better.
Well, it's a domino effect.
Right.
You accomplish one small activity, you're like, oh, I can do this one too. Oh, cool, I got 2 on that one's gonna be easy. Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going and going.
I should
My
probably
question-
try this early morning thing.
I mean,
I wish I was a morning person. Like, honestly, the days that I am up early enough to watch that sun peek up and different things, like, it is beautiful and it feels good. I wish I was a morning person, but I am just a night person.
It's always easier to stay up.
If I go hunting, I can get up like 3 in the morning.
gets you real
I'm like,
excited.
let's go.
I will say, getting up to go golfing and watching the sunrise, that
Oh
is
my gosh.
phenomenal. That feeling when you're out there and the dew's crisp, the air's fresh. You see that sun coming
It's easier
over.
to find your ball because you can see the path of
shadows.
dew.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's so good. You have coffee in your hand. You're like, yes, this is a good
I was going to
day.
say golfing, camping, and I would say having to wake up to head out on vacation are the times that I can like wake up and like, all right, let's go.
Oh, there is something so nice about driving and it's still dark when you're heading to like a vacation spot.
Or you have to
Oh,
catch an early flight, like your vacation.
Or like you're going on an excursion or something.
Yeah.
You have to leave early to get there. The perfect.
Just take that mindset. I got to go to work.
Dude, that's the thing. I mean, honestly,
technically they tell you it's a mind game. You got to wake
For
up
sure.
and just be happy about it.
you need to put up a giant skylight because there's something like camp mornings, if you get a decent sleep, are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that natural wake up.
Right.
No alarm, nothing. You're just like,
Man, I haven't been camping
It's
in
time.
years.
Natural light. Yeah, the natural light. It's true.
you're just done. You're just like, it's
What
time
is
to
it
get
about?
up.
What is it about that? Because like you could still leave your blinds open in your house and get the sun coming in, but it's just not the same.
It's not.
there's a
I don't
temperature
get it.
change and
You're not-
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, that just made me want to go camping so bad. I literally haven't been camping in so long.
Oh, I love it.
I miss
So
it.
good. So we just need
You've been
need
so
our
quiet and
room.
you're actually awake.
I know, but you're not giving us anything. You're just sitting in silence.
Just enjoying the conversation.
Well,
He's
join us.
He's taking it in. He loves being here. Okay, here's one for you. Why do preteens ask the dumbest questions?
Lack of experience.
Haven't
No.
been there.
So, I love Kaylee so much. She'll literally walk into a room and I'm making the other night I was making pot pies for dinner, so I had them out on plates, and she walks in, looks at them, and looks at me, and she's like, "What's for dinner?" And I'm like, I look around, I'm like, "What do you mean? What's for dinner?"
Chicken.
And she looks at him, and one's in the microwave too. She's like, what are we having for dinner? And I'm like, what do your eyes tell you, Kaylee? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, do you see the cooked food in front of you on plates, prepared for the family? She's like, is that for dinner? I'm like, yes, that's for dinner.
Oh, I thought maybe she's doing a protest question.
No, dude. And the thing I can't figure out is I don't know if, because I feel like it's a lot of kids that age. I don't know if they realize how they're asking the question. And instead of saying what's for dinner, it should be more oh, are we having these for dinner? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got you.
That's still
It's
a
just
stupid
answer-
question.
It's still a dumb question, but it's more direct.
Yeah.
Just say yes. When she's like, what's for dinner? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You pull it, Chris. I love it.
I do it to Alden. And
No,
he's
but
like,
I think it's just that observation thing. It's they just don't have that skill at all. And I think the reason I get irritated is because I am very observant.
yeah.
So I notice things and I'll look at something and immediately put the everything together and I'm like, oh, this is what's happening right here. And then they'll walk in and be like, hey, where's the microphone? This microphone here? You'll see. It's coming. Don't worry.
Okay.
Deal.
You know you guys have to know it.
Oh, we do.
Oh, I do.
Thank you.
I do.
Make me sit
on.
over here and feel like
Hey,
I'm
I
the
just-
idiot. Gosh.
You're like, come on, guys.
Oh, so I'm just the douche. Okay.
Anyone over there in the peanut gallery? Anyone?
No, I'm trying to think of specific situations. I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of specific situations. But I think mine is the fact that she's old enough to know things, but still just doesn't something cleaning her room. It's hey, you know that these clothes are dirty and you just threw them on the floor. You're smart enough to know where they go. I don't know. It's just little things, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's it.
But then it sounds like you talk about that with your wives, and so it's well, that's never going away. So
Be the change.
That just reminded me. Jess has her obviously her clean clothes, but then she also has piles of clothes that she can wear again.
Half cleans.
That are not exactly dirty.
hello, chair.
I have that.
Have you seen that? Yes. It's not clean enough to be put away, not dirty enough to be thrown in the hamper. Hello, bedroom chair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the problem is because we've moved into a new house, we don't exactly have our routines yet. We're still figuring out
Oh, for sure, yeah.
where everything goes and how we do our day-to-day operations. And so literally her chair of half cleans is in the bathroom on the bed thing, and it's there's 4 places for them. And so she's like, now I'm gonna go get a thing that I can just place them on. I'm like, great, yeah, that's awesome, yeah, let's do that. then you'll have your spot and that'll be all taken care of.
I have a shelf in the closet I do that with.
Same. Yeah, it's we have this weird wire closet thing, and so it's just the one where my stuff hangs up. There's a little pole above it, so I just sling it right over that pole. So I'll have a pile of 5 shirts sometimes, And I'm like looking for a new clean one. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have anything good. Let me see here. Oh yeah, that one's good.
Let's go for the deplorables.
That's one thing that people never mention about moving into a new house is the literal shakeup of your operations.
Right.
Figuring out.
You ever
where
just stand
everything
there
goes.
holding something and you're like,
Oh, all the time.
What
I'm
do I do
like,
with this?
where do I put? Dude, that's why some stuff's still not put away. Because I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with finding places for it yet. I'm
It's
so
just like-
done. I'm so done. Like our office.
You're so right. It's like your dresser. There was a place for everything and everything in its place. And now it's like, this is the same dresser, but now it's on
It's
against
up
a
against a
different
wall.
wall. Why is this different?
Dude, I hate it. And then you do the stupid thing about taking something out of its place from the old house. Like say it's normally something in your dresser, and now you're like, okay, I'm gonna try and utilize this shelf on a closet.
Yeah.
And then you go to get ready and you're like, where the F is it? And then you go to the closet where you're like, okay, I remember I was going to put them in here on this shelf and it's not there. And you're like, now I don't know where it is. Now I don't know where I put it. I swear it was there. It used to be there. I don't know where it is.
The kitchen is the worst too. It's like, this is clearly a silverware drawer. We're going to put the silverware here. And then you walk in and just by instinct, you grab another drawer and you're like, why isn't the silverware in this drawer? This drawer feels like the right drawer.
I was drawn to this drawer.
Yeah. It's like, you got to give it a couple days. It's like, all right, Tupperware. We're going to leave it on the counter until I just naturally walk in and go, Tupperware. Yep, this is the Tupperware cupboard now because that's where I went. Like,
I'll be honest, I have yet to put away the dishes in this house because I'm terrified to figure out where things are. Like, I do not want to stand there looking at like all these cabinets going, okay.
when we
where?
bought our Roy house, I remember Jenny unpacked and organized the kitchen while I was busy moving other stuff. And I remember there was so many things that I was like, I wouldn't have put it here. Nope, I wouldn't have put it here.
Too many steps away from the sink to that guy.
Like, I'm like, nope, don't like it here, but it's done. I'm going to move on. I'll get used to it.
Yep. And I feel like Jess hurry and unpack the kitchen for that very reason. She wanted it how she wanted it.
like,
And she
already
knew if she
planned
waited,
this.
I would have gave too much input.
What were you
who
saying
spends
about The
more-
Office?
Oh, The Office. There are still some things on the floor and on like a little shelf in there because I just do not want to have to
Papers
find
are the
places.
worst.
I don't want to have to
Like, where
find
the freak
places
do you
for
put
it.
papers?
And the burn pile.
For real. I don't.
Have these papers. These are important papers. Too important to be put low.
now-
Not important enough for the very front of the desk. It's
Now
got to be to the
take-
side somewhere.
Now take all that and try living in a bedroom. You're like, all right, we got I'm trying to think.
Not
I don't know.
silverware.
Oh, like we just had Reggie's birthday, and it's like, okay, he got some new toys. We have no room for toys. Like, and it's like, what old toys are going out so the new toys can replace it? And
Have you ever been like working on something or doing something in an area and you have like a tool or something and you're just like, ah. And you just like put it there.
Yes.
And then you do something and then you're like, like, where the freak did it go?
Yeah.
And you literally
all
like,
the time.
look past it and you're like, what the heck? Because you put it in a spot that's so unnatural.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the frick?
Sometimes you sit there not thinking.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly.
Yeah.
it could even be, you could be sitting on the ground
It's a-
doing something, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna put this between my legs. That way, I know it's right here. And then when you're ready to use it again, you're looking around you.
I swear that it
TikTok.
disappears.
It's that TikTok where it's like he sets the 10 millimeter bolt down or the 10 millimeter socket down, and then he goes looks back for it and it's not there, and then he does this.
And then all of a sudden, I swear to you, it literally disappears from our plane of existence.
Oh, it definitely does.
And then it reappears later.
Oh, and
Because
it's
you're
like,
like- you looked
and
at
it
twice.
reappears, and it reappears when you ask your wife if she's seen it.
Yep.
You're like, I checked there, and it wasn't there.
Have you seen the video? You know, it's either Key or Pill from Key and Pill, where he's sweating so bad it's literally like running down his face. And there's a thing where it's like, when it's like you tell your wife you can't find something, and so she's like, well, I'll go look, and then it shows him and he's like sweating, like it's like, oh, please don't find it, because you know that's how it works every time.
Jess told me the other day that she came across this post where they had a jar where you had to put $5 in if you failed to find something and had to ask mom, and she found it. And she's like, hey, we need to save up for our Honda, right? So how about we implement this, because we'll save up for it real fast. Oh, man.
It's like, hey, do we have any salsa? It's in the fridge. I looked. And then she goes to the fridge. You're like, oh gosh, she's gonna find it. It's gonna be right there.
Yeah. Like, it was not there.
Sabotage.
You put a curse on this fridge. Secret compartments. I don't know what you're doing. There's something going on.
Where's the hex bag?
You pulled that out of your pocket.
The funny thing is, though, is I saw a video like this too, and this was so accurate, where it's like a guy will look and see like a hair tie on the ground in the corner of the room, and his memory won't even like acknowledge it. His eyes will see it and move on, and then it's like his wife will be like, honey, is there a hair tie on the dresser? No, but there's one in the corner of the room. And it's like, how do you
upstairs bedroom, left corner?
Yeah, like, you're just like
2 inches from the seam.
You see the most random things. You're like, there's one.
That's that like chaotic organization. Like, as long as my wife doesn't touch it, I will know where that thing is forever.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Prime example, we moved here, and I have my sunglasses, and I would always put them, first it was where the kitchen or the bathroom sink was upstairs, is like a catch-all. That's where it'd always go. And then I had a different spot for it. And all of a sudden, just one day, they started disappearing. And I'm like, I thought the kids were taking them. Like, I didn't know where they are. They're no longer in the cars. I'm like, I don't know where the heck my sunglasses are. So I fight it. I fight trying to ask Jess, because I'm like, I know I can find them. I've clearly forgotten where I put them. I do not want to ask her, because then she'll make fun of me. And so then I ask her.
Oh, look, Joseph.
So then I finally cave, and I'm like, have you seen my sunglasses? And she's like, yeah, they're in the closet up in the basket. What are they doing there? She's like, because that's where I put sunglasses. Since when?
When were you going to tell me this?
When were you going to, like, why are they in there? And like, it just drove me nuts. I'm like, so for weeks I'd gone without sunglasses because I was like, they have to be around here somewhere.
She never thinks while you're driving and squinting at the road.
Those are just,
honey, do you need sunglasses?
that's just his eyes.
Yeah, that's my day to day. It's amazing. I need sunglasses, really.
Oh, man.
These things block so much light.
Is it under the couch, Joseph? Did your keys fall down and crawl under the couch, Joseph?
Oh, man. Last chance to vent. Anything to vent. Come on, Zach, buddy.
I don't know.
Come
I'm just here for the conversation.
This one's for the boys. Only the boys are still here.
For the boys.
This one's only for the boys. Now we're talking.
Now that it's really just the boys.
Kara on all our social media.
Now we're on modern. Now we're gonna talk for the next 20 minutes about Modern Warfare 2. Now it's really just the boys. Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. I know you got something.
I got nothing.
Well, think
I
about
don't know.
it. I got one more. Think of it.
All right.
What am I thinking of?
Something that Kara does that drives you
Just
nuts.
Vince, carrot,
Well, I've
kids,
already
whatever.
talked about that.
What do you do that drives her nuts?
I already talked about that too.
What is?
I agreed. Chris said the OCD thing, like, and I said, yeah, that was me too.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
I've got to get this off my chest.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. One of us in here
This
has
is
to be a
safe
man.
space.
Wow.
Don't put that evil on me.
Just kidding, Chris. Go ahead.
My wife, like, I've tried to compromise with, yes, you have a laundry basket or you have something that needs to be put away so it can stay out for a little bit till you get to put it away. But she puts stuff in the thoroughfares of the house where you walk in the walking lanes. So I'll get up to go to the bathroom, and the laundry basket's halfway through the bathroom door entrance. And so I'm like, pfft. She's like, well, why didn't you see it? Because it's dark. I woke up.
It's hidden.
I know the path of my house. Like,
Or she'll be like, Shawnee, you're waking me up. And I'm like,
You just dumped the basket on her.
no.
Put it away. No,
Well, you were sleeping. Now you're
I'm
putting
just
away
the-
laundry.
Like, I'm just the same in general of like, I hate any of the pathways in the house because my house is already tiny enough. But anything blocking the pathways just infuriates me.
It's a safety hazard.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's where my head goes with it. It's like, what if the house
But I
caught
just
on
hate
fire?
having to like, you have to like navigate and like.
Oh, I hate it
It's like
so
I just
bad.
want to walk. like a normal person, like this, through my house.
Okay.
Just walk through your house like this. And if anything gets
gotta
in
be
my
ready.
way,
Something jumps out of the darkness, I gotta be ready to get it.
You know, that I don't know why that reminded me. Something so stupid I used to do as a kid in school was I'd walk down the hall of school like this because I was like, if anybody's in my way, they're just going to bounce right off. Like I'm
a choo-choo train, I won't get them.
That's exactly the image I had in my head. Was that rail thing on the front of a choo-choo
cattle
train.
pusher thing.
Just staring ahead.
Yep, I'd just go.
And they'd be like, when he got close to somebody, he'd be like, whoop, whoop.
It's like
I think I
elementary.
can. I think I can.
You know, you guys did stuff like that as a kid where you're in your own head. And like I used to, when I would run, I'd do this because I thought I was chopping the air in front of me and it was making me faster.
Yeah, I get that. I remember when I discovered, you know how you'd be like walking down a hallway and you'd be walking towards someone and you guys would look at each other and you'd all of a sudden mirror each other's moves and then like run into each other even though there's no one else in the hallway.
Yeah.
I discovered what happens is when you make eye contact, you meld your brains. And all of a sudden you're the same person and you can't avoid it. So you have to break eye contact. Because as soon as you do, you break the spell and you guys can dodge each other at no issue.
I usually just
Really?
go that way. I'm
You
reading
just
them.
stop and you're like,
Well, no, I'll keep walking
no,
all day.
I'll see him and then I'll
After
like
you.
look the other way and I'm like, nope, not going to get me this time.
not this time, Satan.
Not today, Satan.
See,
It's Satan.
Satan.
Satan, that's what it is.
in my
Satan.
head, it just kind of works like, okay, we're in America. We drive on the right side of the road. I'm going to the right. You go to the right.
That's the way my brain goes too.
Yeah.
You can once you make eye contact. You're locked in.
It's like the Cobras, how they like make the eye contact with it.
Like we're moving together. Good times. And great oldies.
Hey, did you think of one? Dang it.
Zach's got nothing.
I
He's
got
just here for the
nothing.
ride.
I
He's
am.
enjoying
I'm
the
here.
presents.
I'm sorry, my neck is a little hurting right now. So
Oh, yeah.
That is-
Let's get this boy out of here and back to bed.
Yeah.
that, and I'm just like I said, I'm here for the ride. I'm just enjoying the conversation right now.
you
So-
you soaking
He's
it
just-
all in?
I
He's
am.
happy to be with the boys
I am.
after what he's gone through.
Yes,
I get it.
Grateful.
yes.
Nice.
We're
We're
grateful
glad
for
you're
your
here.
presence, bud.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I
Okay.
really am. I'm only giving you a hard time because I love hearing your voice.
I know.
Your
sorry.
presence
Utes
is
game
a
tomorrow?
present to us.
Huh?
Utes game tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
5:30.
Where are we watching it?
Eastern? Standard?
My house. 5:30 Mountain.
5:30 Mountain. Very nice. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu parenting and
Yeah, what
is
even
it?
was this
Marriage-
episode?
Marriage life
This
counseling.
started out as questions.
It's, You're not alone.
I didn't realize how many questions are kind of just episode related.
That's
So,
what I said at
Yeah,
the beginning.
I know, but I'm just now
Now
confirming
you're
that.
see?
Just-
That's where I got stuck. I'm like, I don't have any good questions to answer.
So leave us some questions. Some it doesn't
life.
have to be about episodes, just about anything you want to know about us or whatever. Things that you think would be funny that we could go off on a tangent on.
What ifs?
Hey, I'm going to throw this out there because, we have to promote ourselves. First off, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in each and every week. But feel free to share us with your friends, your family, anyone that you know that could use a good laugh. Again, if you've been here, you know ratings are very important, especially for us small podcasters. Any subscribe, seriously, ratings, you name it. Every little bit helps. We are also right in the middle now of trying to figure out our next studio.
Yeah.
We are in that next stage. And so if you'd like to support us monetarily, help us get to that next stage in actually piecing together our studio.
Yeah, chairs are expensive.
Dude, everything.
Important.
Everything is just so expensive nowadays. And so a tip, becoming a member, literally any of your monetary donations would be greatly appreciated. If you do listen to us on Spotify, I know that Spotify has an awesome program where 100% of any money that you give us through Anchor or Spotify goes directly to the creator.
That's awesome.
None of that platform does not take a split, which is great. So, but yeah, thank you so much.
Can I
For
add to
real.
that too?
Yeah.
So also, if you can't support us monetarily and you're watching us on YouTube, go to the other platforms like a podcast, whatever podcast you use and go in there and just give us a high rating and leave us a comment. It helps out with the algorithm of it. And we'd
100%.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much.
Share it
Or
around.
here's another idea: just throw our playlists on repeat, even when you're not listening. That watch time helps, baby. It helps. So,
Problem solvers.
thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you guys here next time.
Ciao.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.
Deuces.
Love you guys.
Arrivederci.
Goodbye.